Hello. And hi, this afternoon, this is Karen Sullivan, and I'm here with Dianne and Jerry Hagan. And I've been talking about them for the last week to say, hey, you know, we've got Dianne and Jerry are coming, and they are success stories. They're also friends. We met years ago at swimming.
Yes,
wasn't it
swimming?
Yeah.
Our kids swam together.
We moved out here in 2002 and then got involved with swimming, which we were doing when we were in Virginia, and then met Dianne and Jerry, and the rest is history. So tell me about your recent, well, first I wanted to say congratulations to Jerry. Jerry just retired, which is exciting after how many years?
35.
35 years with the electric company here, Ameren. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a long time to be doing a job that is really kind of physically demanding, you know, knees and shoulders here. So, and Dianne, you're still working, right?
I am, like 35 years of teaching.
Oh my goodness. And you do what age?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Love them.
Fun. Aren't they great? Oh, that's neat. So tell me what your news is. I didn't share exactly, you know, as far as why we're talking to you today.
Well, we decided in May that we were eating very unhealthy. And we had been with Karen, like she said, for a long, long time. And she was always talking about eating healthy. And we were like, yeah, we're eating healthy. We're doing it right. But we did. We ignored her. And then we decided that we were going to give up sugar and the flours and stuff, the gluten. So I started a week before Jerry. And then he's like, hey, the first week I'd lost 7 pounds. And I'm like, okay, I know that's not all fat, but 7 pounds, that just is a true motivator. So then he got on board too, because I'll eat what you eat. So all of a sudden we turned everything around, and it's not a diet that we're on. We have changed our eating habits. Mm-hmm. So we are low carb, no carb, gluten, ketone there. That's kind of what we follow and everything. And then we've been doing this, like I said, since May, and all of a sudden we were on the scale and we've lost both over 30 pounds. So very encouraging. We're not starving, which is, we were talking this morning about when we're on a diet.
You always feel like you're hungry.
Yeah, and we don't feel that way.
Yeah. And sometimes I feel like, oh, I'd like to have a pizza or the bread of a hamburger, you know, the bun.
Right.
But it's not that bad. You know, and once in a while you can. That's not constantly all the time. Right.
The moderation thing is something that we forget, you know, that if you stay away from it. Now, how did you get into using the Life shakes?
I was looking for a quick fix in the morning, and because I'm not a breakfast eater, and I thought if I drank something, I'll be good. So I looked around and I asked different friends about what they were drinking. They were drinking protein shakes. And then I saw you, and you were showing them. I'm like, hey, I know Karen, and I know she'll steer me the right way. And if it tastes bad, she'll tell me. And if it tastes good, she'll tell me too. So that's when I asked you about, okay, what are these shakes? Are they good? Are they filling? How many carbs do they have? Because that was like in about the middle of where we were heading, and I was doing a good job losing weight. And so then you put me on to this, and the peach had sold out. It was at the peach time. And so I went with the vanilla and started adding all the spices and different things like that. And then we were sharing war stories about what we ate or what we were putting in it. And I don't know, that's my go-to in the morning. It makes me feel good, starts my morning right, and it doesn't take any time. So I really like it.
Now, do you find that you get hungry mid-morning, or how long does it hold?
No, I'm good. I drink that about 6:20 in the morning, and then we eat lunch a little after 11, and I'm ready for something then. And, you know, and I just, like, my lunch is just like I have a little bit of turkey and some nuts and a little bit of cheese, and that gets me through. I really have a snack lunch.
Or maybe a little bit of what's left over from
dinner. Or left over from dinner, what we've had, something. So, and
I eat a lot of that.
Yeah, he's my leftover guy. So, yeah, because it seems that eating the way we're eating now, we have these leftovers, and it's either enough for like lunch for him, or we've got another meal out of it too.
Right.
So it's just, like I said, it's a better way of eating.
Terrific. Good. So then what is the other, as the holiday or the seasons have changed, you have come to.
Oh, that is my go-to, the pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice.
It's really good.
This is great. Now, Jerry doesn't do the shakes. You're not really a breakfast person.
No.
Right.
A glass of water is what I have.
Right, exactly. Well, this 180 program has lots of other things, and this is something I know Dianne, you have used in the past, that pomegranate flavor.
That was my
which I'm going to give you that to take home with you.
Yeah, and I also, but I learned that from you before when we were at our old gym that we were at. So Karen would come in all crazy. We were like, oh no, you drank that stuff again, and we were all going to suffer. And then she brought all of us some.
Yes,
so then we didn't all suffer anymore.
Exactly. Jerry, have you ever tried? You did try.
You did.
Here you go. I'm going to give you the green tea. Okay. That's good. I like so you can try it. It's great. It's green matcha energizing tea. You guys can see. Ta-da! And then the pomegranate. I think the pomegranate is sweeter.
It is.
Although it doesn't have.
It doesn't. It's
any sugar added to it.
No.
Yeah, but it's a great flavor. And they're right. When I used to teach a body sculpting class, I would have it,
oh, no.
About,
she drinks
in my drive here.
And
I walk in and go, yay, I had green tea. Oh, yeah. And the nice thing about it was the class was that at 6?
Yeah.
So it was 6 to 7.
In the evening.
In the evening. I drank the tea 5:30 on my way in, and taught the class and went home, and I was still able to go to bed. It didn't keep me up at all.
Yeah, and as you bring that up, that it's just about the time of the day when you're like, I'm done. And that just made you go through. Yeah, and it wasn't like you were like shaky or anything. It just was like, okay, I can go on.
Right. So the thing that I wanted to go to talking about the shakes is, the difference with the shakes is that it does have lower carbohydrate, but it has lutein in it, which is an amino acid that makes your body burn the fat on you instead of muscle, okay? Which can happen when we're trying to critically cut back our calories. And then this is an energizing boost that has also, it's a metabolic boost, and it has also lutein in it. And all the products do, I don't think the tea does, but that does it, that whole 180 program to sort of turn you around if you've been trying to find a weight loss program. The thing that I've said to people before is that using the products, you get me with it. I come with it.
Yeah.
And as I've always, Dianne and Jerry have done personal training with me and on classes and those sorts of things. And as friends, I'm always talking and sharing and, sort of being a reservoir for advice, because they are the only ones that listen to me. My kids don't listen to me.
I wish we had listened earlier. I mean, we heard you and we're like, but we are doing what you said, but we weren't, but not really. We did it our own way, which I don't know. Like I told you, we had to figure it out for ourselves.
Right,
We're just slow learner.
No, hey, join the club. Head as hard as a rock. When I said to somebody that I don't eat wheat, and I was at church this morning and they had all these donuts, and I was like, no, thanks very much, but I don't eat wheat. Oh, are you gluten thing? You doing? I said, no, it's the wheat. Well, how long? And I said, no, how long have I made sense and done it? In the last 3 to 5 years. But I had testing done when I was a kid for allergies, and they told me 2 things that were not environmental. Well, seafood too, but that seems to have gone away. But the 2 were milk and grain, specifically wheat. But I ignored it. I acted like it wasn't true. So it's taken me a while, and now my body is working a little bit better. I don't have the inflammation in it and everything. So anything else that you can share as far as words of wisdom?
Just, you got to find what works for you. Got to find what works for you.
Yeah, and we really are amazed at how good we feel.
Right.
We do feel much better, and we have more energy. We're like going off, and we walk 5 miles, and we're like, yeah, let's go again later on. And we've kept up with it. But it's you have to get in your head that it's not a diet. I think that's the biggest thing, because diet means starve to me.
Right.
And it's a change in your eating habit, which is what you always said, change your eating habits.
Right.
And not diet. So
Not diet.
that's the big thing, because diet means starve.
Well, and when you diet, you're eventually going to go off of it.
Right.
Right.
And that's not what you need to do. You need to eat a lifestyle that is good for you and stay with it.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other thing that you always said too was you'll know if you're doing it right because you shop the edge, and we truly do shop the edge of the store.
Yeah.
We don't hit those middle aisles. I mean, maybe the spice,
Right.
but we don't.
We never go down the snack aisle.
Nope, never.
Never.
We don't go down the we're like,
Never.
oh, we don't need that.
No.
So
Yeah.
I mean, we might buy some sunflower seeds,
Right.
but then we're mixing them with spices, and that's like our big
So
salt.
what's the one that you really do that you make that we just eat the heck out of? The sunflower seeds with what spice?
Cayenne
Cayenne.
and paprika.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh.
man.
Tastes like and
I don't
you
know.
put how much kick you want
And
in
you
it.
put it in the oven?
No,
No,
you
you just
stir it
mix
on
it.
top of the stove.
Yeah.
Best thing ever. Best thing ever. Best thing
Nice,
ever.
nice.
And it's
Oh,
you make
I
it
got
as
it.
zippy as you want. So.
Right, exactly. Oh, that's a great
Oh,
idea. I have to
And
get
that's
that
our
recipe.
snack. I will.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you don't always need a snack with the way we're eating.
No.
But if you do, if you just, sometimes you
At
need
the
something.
beginning.
that
Just
you
wanna
just need,
crunch.
yeah. And it's real good to take it just a handful and
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
goodness, you guys, did you hear that? Look, that's Bobby. She sent a heart across. Thank you. Now, something that I have always done, and I know you heard this, was journaling. Now, did you guys do any journaling while you were doing it?
no, well, I guess not really. We just documented our weight loss.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
right.
That way, okay, I weighed 230 when I started, and I'm only 5'8", so a little over. So that's way too much. But and then so after a week, I weighed 225, and then so documented the weight so you could see your gains, not just in your head, but you can see it on paper.
And I wrote the food down. So that was like my job. I mean, we both weighed, and we only weighed like once or twice a week. We weren't.
Every day.
We didn't want to get on that whole scale kick, and then it would be discouraging.
Right.
But and so I was like, okay, we've got a shake. We've got, I had the shake, and then what food we would eat, and if you needed a snack, this is what snack you would have.
Right.
So
And I just went.
you followed it,
I put soda.
Did you?
Oh.
Good for you. Outstanding.
Because I was drinking 64 ounces of Mountain Dew a day.
Well,
Oh, holy criminy. Jeez Louise.
So now
Gracious.
I drink water.
Okay. All
I
righty.
drink a lot of water.
Okay.
a lot of water.
Well, and I love the fact that you don't eat breakfast and that you're still doing well, because I know that in this environment, in the fitness world, they always tell you breakfast is the most important thing of the, but you were sensible enough to follow what your body was already saying
And
I
if
can't do.
Right. And if I get a little hungry early, I just take an early lunch, which, maybe I'll eat lunch at 11.
Right.
Or 10:30, quarter to 11 or something. If I get hungry. Otherwise, it's whenever I get hungry, I'll eat lunch.
There you go. Outstanding. Yeah, and so in essence, you guys were monitoring, you were writing the food, you were, paying attention, and you had years of working with me.
I know. We're like, oh, this is what she said to do. We're doing it.
Could you hear my voice in the background?
I felt your aura. Oh yeah, you're doing it right, guys. Yay.
I think one of the biggest things is as we lost weight, our portions.
Yeah.
We
control.
we did not portion control when we started.
No.
Okay.
We didn't portion control at all. And it just, as we lost weight, I guess your stomach shrinks and you don't want as much.
And then in actuality, we did portion control. We're like, oh, that's way too much. And we knew, okay, we're going to eat this. Like, it wasn't like we were eating it for days. Like we said, it'd be enough for the next day or half a meal.
Right.
So, but it was just enough.
And I know there's people that are going to say, oh, no breads, no potatoes.
You don't miss it.
Gotta have that. Well, you don't really need bread, or I don't think.
I don't think so either.
You can get by.
There's too many ways.
but
That
there's
cauliflower
Yeah,
stuff.
the stuff that takes the place of potatoes. Because I've always been a potato person. Every meal I had to have a potato.
Mhm.
You're eating some of the cauliflower stuff, the mashed cauliflower with butter and chives, and it tastes like you're eating mashed potatoes.
Right. Right.
And then, you know, there's my
It's great
my
stuff.
potato fix.
Right, exactly. We went out for a pizza about 3 or 4 months ago, and David says to me, my husband, for those of you that don't know, of course, his sister's watching us right now, so she does know him. But he was like, well, should we just get a medium one? And I said, no, dude, get a large, because I don't eat any of the bread. I just eat the top.
That's what I did.
That's what he
we
did the
ordered
other
the
night.
noodles
Yeah.
the other night.
I'm like,
I just ordered a medium, which was just right for me because she didn't want any. And then we ordered a dinner salad.
There you
and
go.
then ate the salad, and I just ate everything off the top.
I know, I love it.
And I mean, yeah, the crust looks good, but it's like, no.
I had one square of the
Okay.
crust.
So
and
then he
the
had
top
his
off that,
fix.
and then I
So you
a
had your
little
fix.
Yeah.
See, there's excellent.
There's a lot of ways to
Moderation.
get around it.
Right.
So,
Mhm.
but like I said, I mean, giving that up, I thought it was going to be harder, all those things, but really, we feel better without it.
And really, ultimately, it was. I know that you have had surgery in the last year, 2 years.
3
Mhm.
years.
3 years.
2 in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had hip replacement,
Yep.
and
Then I had
Orthoscopic knee surgery.
and then the other
Yeah,
hip
and then the
replaced
other
in
hip
February.
replaced.
So
yeah,
much better, all
Right.
that, the healthy food, much better.
right. So now you feel better, and you want to stay on that whole
Mhm.
thing. So when I talk about the first thing you need to understand is why you want to do it. You have to have your motivation. That is, and you have 3 beautiful grandchildren.
That's a big motivator right
Yeah. I know, Jerry. Didn't you just go?
Camping with my grandson he's in Cub Scouts, and we went camping with my grandson and son. Yeah.
Right.
So
And had you been 30 pounds heavier, it would not have been nearly as fun.
no, sleeping in a tent on the ground, basically. No, it's been terrible.
Right.
Well,
Terrible.
keeping up with a group of 7 and 8 year olds.
Yes.
I mean,
Right.
that
There was
was
about 15 of them, 7
Right.
and 8 year olds.
Right. So tell the names of your children, grandchildren, and your children too, for that matter.
all right. So we have 3. They're the jewels. That's what I call them. We have Savannah, who's 9, and then we have Brenton, who's 7, and TNT Tanner, who is 2.5, and that describes him to a T.
Yeah, the terrible twos, yes.
Oh,
And then our daughter is Molly, and her husband is Dave, and then
She's 29.
and then the father of those jewels is Kyle and his wife Melissa, and we're lucky enough all to live very close, and we get to be together a lot and
That's
do a
nice.
lot of crazy activities together.
that's right. Which you can do because you're not old, overweight
Right.
grandparents.
Right.
And I can walk a lot more
Yeah.
now
There you
because,
go.
you know, my 35 years of climbing poles, my knees are pretty much shot.
Yeah.
So I can walk. I used to love to run, but I can't. You know,
Right.
But I can walk, so.
That's great. That's great. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming over today. And it looks like Bobby's the only one. Oh, looks like Deb's also here too. Hi, Deb. Thanks for coming. And for those of you that watch in replay, and if you're interested in getting Diane's recipe that she had for
I
that
will
snack,
give it to you.
she'll give it to me, and then I will send it to you in a private message. But in order for you to get it, you have to contact me. Make it say, I'm in replay, and I want that recipe from her. And then if you want to find out about this life shake, I'm glad to pass that information along to you. Thanks, guys, very much. Have a wonderful day. Peace.